So it's pretty cold and windy and snowy out today, so I thought I'd just sit by the fire. I've already lit it. I'm just waiting to shut the door. Wait for it to get hot enough in the chimney so we can shut the door and it gets a good draw. So as you know, the last few videos, maybe a week or so, I've been talking about this new DOGE program where they're saving tons of money. Well, last night we crossed $100 billion saved. And, you know, that's just a fraction of what we owe. $36 trillion is $100 billion. I mean, it's nothing. But it's definitely a good start. You figure if he can do that 8 more times, that pays for the military. $800 billion, I think, is what the military requires. So, a good start. And they still got programs they're looking at the Department of Education, and they still got to look at Social Security. Elon Musk said the other day that it's pretty obvious that there's things wrong with Social Security. There's people in there that are 150 years old, but I mean, how many people do you know that's 150 years old? They all should be in the Guinness Book of World Records. That's what he said. He said, so, you know, obvious things that aren't being corrected. What's interesting is I kind of learned today, didn't really know this. There's auditors or inspectors, or I don't know what they're called. It doesn't matter. But every department has somebody who's supposed to be reviewing these purchases and records and different things in every administration. But apparently they haven't been doing their job, which is pretty typical in my mind. Federal employees just don't do their job. I mean, yeah. We've seen federal employees before. It's just they sit around yapping, not doing anything. It's inefficient, walking around. I mean, heck, go to the DMV. Oh man, that is so inefficient. Just people piled in, and you know, I don't know. And that's not even federal employees. Today, I've been watching videos of folks who've been laid off or terminated. Now, of course, we know that there were employees that took a buyout program, 75,000 employees. And people are saying, how are you going to afford that if we can't afford? Look, you know, it's until September. We're going to pay them their salaries until September. They weren't doing anything anyways. That's what I'm trying to say. We got all these employees not doing anything. We told them to go away. We'll give you your money until September. And it doesn't appear like my life has changed dramatically. Now they've stopped working for a week. So I guess they weren't that important. What was so funny about that is we had to have a judge tell us that it's okay for federal employees to quit. I mean, who knew? That was just, wow, I didn't know they could just quit their job if they wanted to. I want to interrupt this video real quick and ask you, at the end of this video, there's going to be an up next box. I'd like for you to click it, go over to my other channel. It's a brand new video today. I'm not really sure what it is, I forget, but I'm sure it's going to be a good one. I mean, I've only been picking out the good ones, trying to get this channel going. I just need to get the watch hours. I'd like to get the watch hours that I need before April, so I'm less than just over a month to go. End of March, beginning of April, I'd like to have enough watch hours to get monetized. So if you go over there and watch those videos, I sure would appreciate it. Also, there'll be a pinned comment and a link in the description. Then Trump laid off a bunch of probationary employees, saved $600 million a year on these probationary employees. That means they've worked there less than a year. I thought it was 90 days, but they've worked there less than a year. They're still in probation. And the reason they took that approach was, one, they're not highly skilled at their job yet. And two, they didn't have to fight the unions because they're not, you know, they didn't have a lot of seniority. So I've been watching these videos all day long. News organizations running these videos of laid off employees, and they're just so distraught. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just quit my good paying job of 10 years and take the federal job so I could relax a little and enjoy my career. Wait a minute, relax it a little. No, I want you working hard for my $36 trillion. Beating the pavement every day. When I was working for an employer, I was working 7 days a week. 60, 70, 80 hours. I've talked about this story millions of times. There was a Labor Day or Veterans Day or something. So we had the day off, but I had to go into work. Me and Carolyn both had to go into work, set up lines for Tuesday. I mean, you have to work in order to make a profit for the company. Well, the government doesn't make a profit. We're paying them to do something for us. So the only profit is the employee. They are making a profit. And they just assume that they don't have to do anything. There's nobody regulating. And just the other day, Congress was telling us, Maxine Waters was saying, you work for us, for this security guard. No. Maxine Waters works for that security guard. So they're all whining. They don't know what they're going to do. They don't know what they're going to do. I watched one guy, works for the National Forest Department. And he says, we're skilled workers and we just went in and got laid off. You're not going to find easy replacements for us. Wait, you've worked there less than a year. You're not a skilled worker. You're nothing. That's who you're supposed to lay off. They don't seem to understand that the company is going to be broke. The company, okay? Let's talk about, as the United States is the company, is going to be broke in 10 years. Bankrupt. End of stories. Social Security will be bankrupt in 10 years. That will be the year I'll be able to apply for Social Security. I've been paying 15% of Social Security most of my life because I've been self-employed. Everybody else pays 7.5%, but I pay 15%. And it's always been aggravating to me. I hate Social Security because of it. Medicaid, Medicare, whatever it is. I think it's a Ponzi scheme. And it's going bankrupt. So you're expecting me to feel sorry for you because you lost your job of less than a year, while I have paid in to my retirement plan. That's what they call this, a retirement plan, all my life, and I'm not going to get any money back. It's just going to be a tax. That's all it is. It's just a tax, another tax that I paid in, hoping that I was going to get some money back, and I'm not going to get any money back. But you're going to sit there and whine, oh, you're going to lose skilled workers. I'm a skilled worker. You're not a skilled worker. Another one said, yeah, I just quit my job of so many years, and I'm 53 years old, and I just got laid off. And I decided I was going to work for the federal government to finish my career and get my MBA. You couldn't get your MBA at your last job? Oh, I can almost guess why you couldn't get your MBA at your last job. Because your last job required you to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Whereas federal government's 40 hours a week, plenty of vacation time, plenty of days off. And heck, you could probably bring your books to work, do your homework in the office, and not even miss you as an employee. You're not skilled workers. Collect your unemployment. Oh, I don't know how to collect unemployment. Never had to do it before. Most people who work and get laid off don't know how to collect unemployment. It's a challenge. Everybody has to go through it. And just because you're a federal worker doesn't make you special. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, being a federal worker, you're less than special. You're not doing anything for the economy. You're just a drain on the economy. If a company is struggling, any company, Boeing, Chrysler, I mean, look at in 2008, the economy crashed, the automotive industry suffered. My business, I was a consultant for suppliers to the automotive company. We ended up shutting down over it. But do federal government workers ever feel the pinch? No. They just keep collecting taxes and getting paychecks to do in what I see as nothing. And you're going to tell me that you're going to suffer? Well, go out and get a real job. Federal employment is not a real job. It's lazy work. And you're collecting a huge paycheck. And the more I learn about this, these federal workers are stealing money. $30 million has been stolen by one of the employees. They've not released their name or anything yet, I guess, because they got to go through the process of collecting enough information. And DOGE walks into the IRS and has put the workforce on edge. Oh no, they're on edge. I remember one time I was working for a sheltered workshop. And shelter workshops hire disabled employees, and we try to teach them how to go get full-time employment with a regular employer. Some of those folks is never going to be able to get a job, but that was our mission, was to teach them how to work in a manufacturing environment so they could move on. And there was some huge success stories. But as a result, we were extensively monitored by the Department of Labor all the time. And one time the Department of Labor came in. Now, this is when Obama was in office. And he wanted to shut down these shelter workshops. He didn't think they were fair. And so they sent in the Department of Labor, and the lady said, I was told by my boss, I have to find a problem in here. And what it was going to do was going to shut us down. And so we were on edge, trying to make sure everything was perfect and we did everything properly. Of course, I mean, we had good procedures. I mean, if they were going to pick a place to audit and lose their ability to find anything wrong, it was that place. Because I mean, my boss and his boss really knew how to run a shelter workshop. I'd worked for two others, and they didn't do as good job. They probably would have had some auditing issues with those. But so they came up with this most. See, there's procedures. You had to what's called time study our employees, and we time studied them. And that's how they got their pay, was based on their production rate. It's basically piecework is what it was. So however many pieces they got is how much money they got. So you time study them. And we had to do this all the time as employees. We time studied them, so we made sure they were getting paid correctly. Well, it's normal work environment is what you're supposed to time study them to. So you sit Susan down and she starts working, and then she starts talking to her friend over here. And of course you try to redirect, hey, you need to get back to work. And she's not going to. I mean, she's disabled. And eventually, after 4 hours of sitting there talking to each other, you get back to work. Well, they've only got one piece done in 4 hours. That's their time study. Well, the auditor comes in, sends everybody off to break. She shut the place down. Now, remember, we had to make money. That was our job. We had to make money so we could pay the employees. So she shuts the place down, sends everybody off to break, the entire plant. Sits little Susan down and says, okay, Susan, let's work. Click. Well, everybody in the plant knew what a time study was, so she hits the stopwatch, and little Susan's just, of course, any other time she'd get one part done while she was talking to her friend. But she had nobody to talk to. So they said that we violated time study protocols. So talking about being on edge, well, wah is what I say. It's about time the IRS is put on edge. Think about it. The IRS comes out, they hire 80,000 new employees a few years ago, so they could come out and look at people who make more than $600 on PayPal. So, Grandma Susan is over there. She's got a yard sale going, and she's, doing scrapbooking and all kinds of different things, and trying to put some money together because her retirement just didn't pan out the way she had hoped. She's making pennies on Social Security, and so she's out there in the hot sun every day, yard selling. And she made $601. Oh, got to go order Grandma Susan. That's what the 80,000 IRS agents. Do you think Grandma Susan's going to be a little bit on edge? Yes. So it's about time the federal employees are put on edge. They need to be shaken up. I don't care if they're on edge. I hope they get rid of all of them. I just get rid of the entire government and start over. Fire them all. Because all of them has this attitude that they're entitled to my money for lack of work. Entitlement. I am entitled to Social Security. I paid into it. It's called an entitlement. I'm entitled to it. It's mine. I deserve that money back. And I'm not going to get it back because they think they're entitled to a job that I pay them for. And so essentially, if I really kind of just imagine what's going on in the government, hey, we got a big pile of money over here. It's called Social Security. And we got a bunch of employees over here we can't pay. Let's take from this pile of money and give it to them. No, get rid of them. I don't want them around. And the media needs to stop. When I get into the comment section, somebody's whining about Elon Musk. He's such a terrible person, Elon Musk. And they're out there rioting right now or protesting in front of Tesla and over there in Washington, Seattle. And they're just all upset about Elon Musk. But ask any of them, what's your plan to save the country? When this country goes broke. I guess they don't believe it's going to go broke. I don't know. But how are you going to save money? They don't have an answer. They don't even care about an answer. Oh no, Elon Musk has got to go. Well then, are you going to go audit? You want me to go audit? I'd be worse than Elon Musk because I don't have any diplomacy in me. I don't care. You're fired. Get out. It'd be that simple for me. I did it in my past in previous companies. If you did not do your job, you're out. You can ask Carolyn. She saw me fire a few. Yeah, well, one woman, the company wanted to fire her for years, and they hired me, and within a week they said, boy, she's not doing her job. And I mean, she was always on the computer doing emails, and it was pretty bad. And so, I mean, I fired her. I don't have any sympathy for them. I've struggled my entire life trying to pay Social Security with my fingers crossed that I would get it when I retire. And I may not get it. So get out. You're not doing your job. You're not making sure that I get my retirement. Get out. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to a video on my other channel. It's a brand new video today. I'd sure appreciate it if you go watch it. I can't even remember what it's about, but it's going to be a good one, I'm sure. So I hope I can inspire you to kick them out so we can live our dreams. Thanks for watching.